Irish Media Network. We entertain.
It's Ryan here, and welcome to another episode of About Last Night. The Dublin team have made it down to Cork for a new festival called Houseworks. We are going to be chatting to Felix Da Housecat and the Magician. Well known to our Isles, it is the one and only Felix Da Housecat. You're just off the main stage there. Like, you were pulled out a banging set. How you feeling?
I feel good. You guys are so sweet, all you guys. I'm not just saying that because you guys pulled me off the stage. Said, you better do this interview right now. I said, okay, no problem. But yeah, it was great and good vibe. You guys have a good vibe. I love Ireland. Cork, I'm trying to remember the last time I was in Cork. But the first time I was in Dublin, I was telling you guys, was 1993. 93, May 15th, Temple Bar, with Billy Scurry, Johnny Moy, Dave Clark. Those are the guys who initiated me.
Yeah. Do you have a favourite gig that you ever played here? Because you've been here a good few times.
Ooh, man, that's a great question. I don't want to get in trouble, but this gig was great. Electric Picnic was really good because I hadn't played in a while, so that was a great show. And like the first time I came over, you know, it's always the first time you lose your virginity.
You popped your cherry.
I popped my little Irish cherry. I was purified in a Minnetonka Irish waters. But yeah, nice. So yeah, it's always fun playing here. Always.
Okay. So obviously you've been knocking around the music industry since a very young age, of around 15 years of age, I'd say. You know, your music has developed over time. Should DJs develop too with time, or is it okay for them to, you know, stay true to themselves?
Well, I had started off as a producer first, and then I went over to DJing because I wanted to, at the time, my manager at the time, I was living in Billericay in Basildon in Essex. Yeah. He was like, start DJing, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. This is like 91. He said, you have to promote yourself. So that's how I got into DJing. Okay. Because I was a producer and artist first. Yeah. And then as I started DJing, that's where I started learning, like what you were saying, like just try to stay true to myself and read the people, and try not to, because my dad always said you got to be a leader, not a follower. But sometimes if you lead too far ahead, it just goes over people's heads. So you got to kind of just got to find that balance, you know. Yeah,
because genres come in and they go out, and you know.
And you will die with your genre if you stick too hard on it. Yeah. When the genre die, you die. So I try to just always try to reinvent myself. Sometimes, though, you got to go back to your history to reinvent yourself. Of course, you know?
Where it all started.
Where it all started. I mean, because all the music, you know, it's like all at the top is the same, love and love and you know, all of you know, when you write about love, or when you write about partying or dancing to have a good time, those themes have worked till the end of time. You know, so you stick to them themes, go back, do your research, because you know some artists, they don't really study. You know, I was watching that Quincy Jones documentary. It was incredible on Netflix, and he brought up a good point where, you know, a lot of my other friends said, like, you have to really study the ones before you, you know. Like I studied DJ Pierre, Marshall Jefferson, Robert Owens, Jamie Principle, all of these house guys, and Prince was kind of like my hero. So that was like my measuring stick. Not to say I was going to run around in heels.
I say you look good, though.
but yeah, that was like my template. So
of course, that's where you wanted to be, and that's where you aimed for. Yeah,
I was trying to set it like that. Of course. Yeah.
So you've obviously, you know, you've collabed with, done collaborations and remixes.
Who am I? Donna, Britney Spears, Marilyn Manson, New Order, P. Diddy.
Who's your favorite? Go on, tell us.
You know, it's some collabs are in person, and some are like through management. Yeah. But I would say Puff is like my big brother. I flew out to New York, and it was like boot camp. He was just like, look, we about to work. Ain't no pint. We gonna work, mother. I'm like, all right, man. So you know, he's like the big brother. But you know, Marilyn Manson was cool to hang out with. They're all like us. You know, they're all artists and.
Of course.
You know, so
Doing their craft.
Doing their craft.
Doing their craft.
It's all about the art. Like this is your art. This is your art.
Yeah, of course, my thing.
That's her art. That's just art sitting there looking pretty.
That was the one we were talking about. So come here, Felix. Let's. My last question for you. What's next for the unstoppable Felix Da Housecat? What's happening?
Next, man, I try to stay present now. Everything's going so fast. You know, now with social media and all that, everything is like the second. So my thing is I'm just trying to kind of stay present and just focus on the now. I have like plans, you know, I've talked to too many DJs on the phone today. I said, I'm thinking I'm gonna do my last album. I need you guys to help me produce it. So Wax, I've been talking to them today. And that's about it. Running Founders of Filth, my label, me and my lady label, Montreal, Chicago representing.
No way, you like it.
Yeah. 47-year-olds don't do that, do they?
So what's happening for the 50th? Are we going to have a party, man?
I can't even think about that right now. I'm like, my knees, you know, I know I look pretty, but my knees don't feel pretty from that dancing. Y'all keep me dancing.
But I think that's how you keep fit, to be honest with you, and keep young, you know?
Looking young and pretty.
Young and pretty, what you're doing, it's so fun. But come here, look,
I understand you perfect with that accent.
Thanks so much. So, come here, we wish you all the best from About Last Night, and thank you so much.
Last night. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm sitting here with the lovely Jax Jones. All right.
Hello, yeah.
Welcome to Ireland.
Hey,
Or even Cork.
this ain't Cork. Don't lie. I was in Cork. This is an hour away. This ain't Cork, yo. Where exactly are we?
You were in a shed.
We are in the shed. A historic shed.
The outhouse of a shed.
Yeah, that historic shed where Dolly Parton once performed. I'm so happy to grace the stage that Dolly Parton once stepped on. Jolene. Gonna play my special Jolene edit to commemorate it.
Love it. You better whip it out.
Oh, my knee.
No. So firstly, I want to talk about your T-shirt. Lindsay and Zach, Saved by the Bell.
Oh, fam. I rate you. You got Zach correct. But that's not her name.
Is it not?
How can you disrespect my first crush like that?
I think she was everybody.
Kelly Kapowski. Kelly Kapowski was the hottest girl on road when I was 10 years old. I'm telling you. And yeah, no, obviously.
And now you're supporting her.
Russian Becks, yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'm just letting people know this could be us, but you was playing.
So you played a few times in Ireland. Yeah. Yeah. Do you have a favourite gig?
I have a favourite time.
Okay, cool.
When I had my first big single, which is You Don't Know Me, on my own. Oh, they're playing something I was gonna play later. Lucky it's 3 hours before. But I played Rag Week in Ireland, and I did a month's worth of Rag Weeks.
Nice.
And it was pretty sick, to be fair. And
think so.
yeah. I was and at that point I made a lot of friends. I went Limerick, Sligo, Cork, Donegal.
Oh my God, you're now look at you.
Yeah, man's the guy. So
now in your counties, fair.
Yeah. So, I got a lot of love for Ireland, man. I've been everywhere, to be fair. I can't say it's a fave, although one that stands out for me this year is I did Free Arena with MK in Dublin, and that was sick. So.
Yeah, I say so. Come here. Also, apart from playing, gigs, have you done any of our festivals here?
I did Live Festival.
Yeah.
That was sick. What festivals? Man's doing Housework Festival, isn't it? Houseworks.
Housework is a festival, yeah.
They named it after one of my songs. Like it's just the one, isn't it?
So tell us a little bit about like your career and when you started and how you started. Was music in your family?
No, my mum's a teacher. Both my parents were teachers.
Okay.
Teachers were super academic, and like music was such a problem for me that I got kicked out of my house for it. Like
What?
it was like
Okay.
an issue, and
Okay.
because I was good in school, but I was like moonlighting doing music at the same time.
Yeah, you had that creative passion to do what you wanted to do, and you were doing it. Good.
Yeah, well, it's kind of my mum's fault because she got me on like classical guitar lessons, and it kind
Okay.
of went from there.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, and then always wanted to be a producer, but it's like hard to make ends meet as a producer. So I was just playing guitar for people. Worked for like N-Dubs back in the day, like
I
random Tinchy Strider. Do you remember Duffy? Yeah. I used to play guitar for all of them. And then I was in a band, made an album, got dropped, and then I just like, yo, I'm gonna start. I'm
Doing
gonna
your own thing.
do my own thing. And then being a DJ doesn't require you to look super handsome. So it's just like, all right, cool. I'm gonna be a DJ.
And come here, working on your tracks and stuff. How long would you work on putting something out?
It depends, but I'm not quick. Like
Okay.
I take my time, and I like to make I'm not really about quantity. Like I really
Okay.
focus and make something that I really believe in, that I think is gonna make a real impact. And so far, yeah, it's been good. So a track can take me a few years, like. And then something will take me a few months, but I've never had something that, you know, some people say, yeah, I made it in a couple of days and it's out. Like it minimum will take me a few months, you know, from start to finish. So I'll write the song, because I start everything from scratch. So like, you know, if I'm working with a singer, you know, like Ray, you know, Demi or whatever, we sit down and write a song, and then I do all the music after. So it takes a lot of time to kind of make everything spot on. Do you know what I mean?
So for our budding, like, you know, producers and the next generation in music, what is your, like, is there anybody that gave you like really sound advice that you would like to pass on to them?
Yeah. Oh man. I mean, I just watched the Quincy Jones documentary.
I think we were chatting. We were actually chatting to Felix Da Housecat, and he was mentioning it as well. And on our way down here, we were chatting about it too. Tell us a bit more.
Oh well, it was super inspiring. Obviously, like he's came from nothing and he's just built, you know, like an incredible catalogue of music.
Yeah.
And there's one quote he said in that really stuck out to me. He said, you know, you got to be humble with your talent, but gracious with your successes. You know, that obviously applies when you get to a certain point. Yeah. And then one thing you see from his life is just how hard he works. Like he made hundreds of songs, and so like I learned a lot from that. I've met a lot of my heroes over the last few years. And
So who would your influences be?
Like Fatboy Slim, Armand Van Helden, Martin Solveig has been a big mentor for me. And their whole thing is they just say to me, you know, it's been really kind. Like they all really believe that. They think I'm gonna be around for a long time, and that's been really cool. Yeah, thank you.
You've got great personality as well, do you know?
Yeah, and then they're just like, I don't know. The main thing I've learned from everyone is just focusing on making really good material and finding a way that is exciting to show that to the world, and that's what all of those guys have, you know. And they, you know, Fatboy Slim, he's just got amazing videos, amazing branding, amazing music. So I just try to follow that, you know. Nice.
And come here, what's in store for yourself in the next, coming into 2019?
Oi, 2019, already here. I've got one more record before the year goes out. I'm gonna drop, and it's really good. It's just good.
It's just good. Just guys, just know it's gonna be good.
It's good. It's a good one.
No doubt it will.
Yeah. It's like two-step banger. It's really good. And then I've got an exciting project that I'm doing with Martin Solveig. It's like something we've been working on, a few tracks, and we'll tell people more about that. Like that, something from that should come this year, and then early next year, you know, I'm dropping my album. You know, and then yo, man's in Dublin next month as well, doing 2 nights at the Academy.
Sweet, we'll come and visit you.
Yeah, that's going to be sick. Sold out 2 months in advance. Big up, everybody. Big
Hit
love.
us up and let us come in. And,
That'll be sick.
Yeah, deadly. Well, come here. We wish you all the best, and we'll see you. We'll see you in the academy.
Oi, oi.
Oi, oi.
I'm here with Timmy and Jordan of the Night Institute. Just want to chat a little bit at the start, guys, just about how did you guys meet and where did the original inspiration for the Night Institute come from?
Well, we met working for it was like a music training organisation, so we were going out into the community with young people, Ableton workshops, DJing, and I booked Timmy for an illegal party that I was running.
Thanks, but we didn't get in trouble. So
no, we
okay.
didn't. Well, I don't think we can get caught now, can we? Yeah. And we started working together through that.
We just found that we had very sort of similar tastes in music, you know, house, techno, disco, you know, that we weren't, you know, kind of just into one sound, so we sort of hit it off straight away, and yeah, and then the relationship blossomed, and as I say, Jordan booked me for a night, and then we sort of became more friendly, and we realised that there was maybe an opportunity to start something of our own in Belfast, that there was a lot of stuff happening at the time, but it was very sort of international headliner, big parties, monthlies, things like that. But we were like, yeah, quite expensive. We were like, where's your go-to? You know, where's your club on a Saturday night that you just know's there for you, and it has a certain music policy and a vibe, and also a feeling to the club in terms of the kind of people that it attracts. So it's a friendly kind of space. You know, that was very important for us. We've built quite a lot of regulars through that, so that obviously is proof that that kind of thing is working. So yeah, it was, and as Jordan said, money reasons, do you know what I mean? I mean, the cost of living these days is scary, so having something that was, you could go to on a Saturday night, get your fix for under a tenner, I think, and quality control, you know, we're so wild about the music that we, you know. How would you say then the sort of Night Institute has changed since the beginning? What are your future plans for it? Is there anything you're looking to sort of achieve in the next couple of years?
Well, I suppose it's changed in the sense that we've tried many different avenues. We have booked international guests as almost like a treat to regulars. To be honest, we had good numbers. We had good numbers with bad numbers, and to be honest, we just thought that the Trustee Weekly thing was not only more consistent, but it just seemed to have a better vibe, and the regulars enjoy coming on a weekly basis. So we tried the guest thing. We've also supported lots of Irish artists over the years. You probably remember more than I would.
Yeah, I think that's us moving forward. As Jordan said, we've been in a few different venues now. This is our third space, which is kind of proves that there's something about the night itself rather than the venue that it's in. You know, that we can survive moving about. But yeah, I think we're quite kind of happy here because in terms of the capacity and the location and stuff, we like this part of town. We think this is an exciting part of Belfast now. It's really burgeoning. So, but yeah, we're definitely keen because we don't really need, I suppose, we're very lucky in a way that we don't have to have a headliner to get people to come to the party. That we would like to kind of nurture the whole Irish thing. You know, it's blossoming. It's crazy right now. You know, in terms of how many DJs, live acts, producers and things there are. So if Jordan and I are going to be in a position where we're going to be taking nights off to do other gigs elsewhere, well then we want to bring people in to give them those slots and opportunities. So yeah, I suppose that for us moving forward, that's a big part of the ethos for it.
We actually booked a lineup for one of our big parties for later in the year, and the room 2 is solely of Night Institute regulars who are also really good DJs. So instead of us picking from people that are already on the circuit as such, we've got 4 guys who have been to the Night Institute in all of its incarnations through all through all 3 venues, and it's not a gimmick either because they're all really good DJs. Go in your mind.
Well, welcome to the Roisin Dove, and Circa and Simon, thanks so much for joining us. First and foremost, welcome back to the Roisin Dove.
Thank you very much.
Tell us, is it good to be back? Is it particularly special playing here, or is it just another venue?
It's very special playing here. We've got a very special relationship with Googie, who books all the gigs here, and it feels like home away from home.
Excellent to hear. What about you, Simon? Special place in your heart?
Yeah, big time. Over the years, played it here with a few different bands and stuff, and I think this is probably our 5th or 6th time playing ourselves. So it's great to be back.
Excellent. And is there, I suppose, does this rank, we'll say, in the venues that you play around the country, or is it just a special thing to come back to Galway for a night out?
I think that it's the spot in Galway to play. It always has been. I think it's pretty much the spot that we always go through Googie coming to Galway.
Excellent. And I suppose in terms of other places you've played, obviously look at the extent of your the different festivals and stuff you played is massive. Are there any standout moments or gigs or crowds that kind of stick with you?
We had a very good run of festivals this year, and that's a very special kind of vibe, just because everybody's up for a bit of fun.
Playing festivals?
Yeah.
Is it completely different playing, we'll say, like a more intimate, kind of closer gig?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like in some regards, it can be easier playing a festival gig.
Yeah.
The intimate gigs, you feel a little bit more pressure.
Yeah, I can imagine that.
And the festival gig, like when we play the full-on ship set, it's quite dancey, I suppose.
Yeah,
like you'd be grooving and dancing, so it works really well at a festival.
Just moving on to Procession, your album. Winning the Choice Music Album of the Year. Guys, congratulations, massive. Tell us, did you have any little bit of an inkling, or was it just a complete surprise?
It was a complete surprise in a way, because everybody on the list was great.
Yeah.
You know, there was like no bad album on that whole list. It felt like it could have been anybody's for a multitude of reasons.
Yeah.
And we didn't think our album was any less or anything, because we didn't have a record label, we didn't have any big PR behind us or anything.
Yeah.
But in terms of the quality of the album, we felt it was up there with everybody else's. So,
Yeah.
but it's still, when it came to it, it was a massive shock and surprise.
From the Dublin team tonight. I know we said we were going to be chatting to the magician, but we did even better than that. We got Jax Jones right here. We hope to see you again next week. Don't forget to subscribe. Chat to you.